Hello goblins, it's Chris, Eldritch Pipes, and it's an episode of this week's Pipes. In fact, it's the last episode for this year. That's right, I've made my last pipe for 2022. I don't mind telling you, I've actually been looking forward to putting my feet up. Such that the festive holidays allow you to put your feet up, which isn't very much. I'm actually going to be dashing hither and probably thither for the next 2 weeks. In fact, I've even had to start putting aside blocks for January's pipes, so the treadmill doesn't really stop. It merely slows down a little bit, which is just fine. I'm smoking some RDF. I remember the last time I said, oh, it's flooding in. I don't know what gave me that impression. I don't check for tobacco that often these days. And just, I think the last time that I was aware, when I was looking, Jermaine's seemed to be in. But someone said, hey, where can I get it? I had a quick look, and yeah, they're right. There's none to be found anywhere. Don't ask me what's going on. But if you're in the UK and you do have trouble getting hold of RDF, I do know a man. So email me and I'll tell you how you can achieve this miraculous event. I've been watching season 3 of Deadwind. If you don't watch Deadwind, you should. It's a Nordic noir detective series, very much in the vein of The Bridge, I would say. If you've ever seen The Bridge, you may have seen the American version. I haven't seen that one. Watch the Swedish/Danish version. It's excellent. Deadwind is excellent too. Although Netflix was really dragging its heels about acquiring the 3rd season for some reason. It's been out for some time in its native language. And since they don't overdub it in Netflix, they just get subtitles. I don't know why it's taken so long. But anyway, it's gotten off to a great start. Also watched the Texas Killing Fields, which was fascinating and horrifying as these things are, but still, looking at how, I suppose, police work did or didn't work prior to DNA evidence. They more or less had to have someone admit to the fact, it seems. That's the way it looks from these programs. Maybe they're portraying police work inaccurately, but that's how they're portraying it. Alright. RDF. Have I told you how much I like it? Right. This week's pipes. And then some other pipes. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you might have an idea of what's coming. But in a moment. Right. Oh, which one first? A Viking horn. Haven't made one in a little while. I've made like an alchemist Viking horn recently in purple resin, but just a Viking horn. And in fact, this guy just wanted it all black, of which I kind of like heartily approve. Just, you know, just let the shape and texture do all the talking. A wee bit of plateau down here. Just the simplicity of the S curve. I just love. Quite a wide stem. Not super wide, but it's like 90mm. Nice, comfortable and thin. You can see the straight grain flowing up the side of the horn. For me, that's kind of the real pleasure of a horn, seeing the straight grain follow the shape through that curve. Just really pleasing. And then you have the ring grain sort of describing it as well. Parallel rim rather than going with the direction of the chamber, so that you can, I've said this many times but I'll say it again, so that you can see when you're lighting your pipe. And it just happens that this shape has similarities in that respect with the Viking drinking horn. There you go. In a black sandblast. I don't remember the last time I've done an all black one. Many blood moons ago. He's going off shortly. When I do the dance between the bank holidays, the Royal Mail strikes, there's like these little windows where you can post stuff. It's very frustrating, the current situation. My sympathies go out to all workers who have to strike to get their message heard, but from my level, it's really gumming up the works. I'll say it. Next, another Eldritch classic. Look at that fiery bad boy. So it's a Dr. Silence reading pipe in a deep brown sandblast. Nice rugged plateau rim. Feel that wavy ring grain. Still toying endlessly with the sandblast process. I don't seem to get any, what's the word, consistency. Everyone is different, so I am coming to the idea that it's down to the briar to some extent. We know that, but we're trying using technology to overcome things so that we can impose a look. It's just not always possible. The briar does its own thing. In the end, we've got to accept it. With the amber flame resin, a particularly turbulent piece. Look at it go. one of the beauties is that the resin that I make always gives you something different. For my purposes, for my style, it works really well. I can imagine that for some pipe makers who want a consistent look, a look that they can depend upon, it might not work for them, but for me and for a bunch of other pipe makers, the kind of the fluid dynamics that you get with cast resin is just wonderful. And man, that guy really went off. Dr. Silent's reading pipe. It was actually very pleasurable to make one, since I hadn't made one of those for a while as well. And I'm going to get a lot of practice in, because there's a certain someone out there who's ordered a boatload of them. You know who you are. So I'm going to make them in endless variations. Well, 6. But that's a lot to make back to back. But I'm looking forward to the challenge. I've been given free rein to make them as I see fit, combinations, colours, finishes, so we'll see what comes out. Right. What's next? If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you might have seen a post the other day. And it was, watch out, because it's the next 4 Horsemen pipe set is coming. And it's here. Yeah, I haven't done the label yet. But on the cover of this video, I'll put the label. I printed it out, I just haven't had time to pop it onto the box yet. This set, by the 4 Horsemen, is called 4 Seasons, which is a lovely thing to work with. So, this is what we've made. I took spring. If you watched last week, you'll have seen my pipe for spring. I had to talk about it. It's a spring print. So, natural smooth, so no stain on this guy, paired with moss green Cumberland stem. Super light. Someone noted that I hadn't done it. A lot of princes, or at least the common form of a prince, is with a slight bend. And I have done them with a slight bend in the past, but I've been liking just the straight taper on the prints. And so that's what I've gone with. Just letting the shape and the grain do the talking. If you might remember that I was saying, this is a slightly... Let me put this down actually. This is a new version for me. In the past, I've done much wider bowls, really going for the kind of a squat look, and I've decided that I wanted to revise how I did princes, and this is the first of those pipes with my new idea of what a prince is. A prince is an amazingly personal way of shaping. If you search for like the pipe shape prince, no two people do it. No two factories do it the same. It's a really individual piece, and I've been trying to find my feet with my ultimate Prince shape, and I feel like I'm getting there. Anyway, this is spring. Next up, if you know your seasons, is summer. Let's see if I can get this right. And this is by Ian Walker, Northern Briars. I'm going to call it a bent egg. I suppose you could call it... You could call it a bent... I was about to say, could you call it a bent billiard? Maybe you couldn't. No, that's ridiculous. Why would you call it? You'd have to be mad to call it a bent billiard. Bent egg, I reckon. With an army mount with... Look at that. Bright yellow for summer. Again, he's gone for a natural, smooth finish. Pretty stark contrast to my dainty piece. This is pretty substantial. The tobacco chamber is mighty. So we're pretty much spanning the length and breadth of, like, you can have like a dainty little short smoke or massive smoke for days smoke. Great finish, really great finish. Obviously Ian does all his own metal work. Is it silver? I would imagine it is. Yeah. Really cool. I was just talking about the other day how Ian always manages to submit a natural smooth for the Four Horsemen set, except for the one where the theme was Sandblast. I think it was Sandblast. Something like that. Autumn is next, if you do the math. Spring plus summer equals autumn. And this is, autumn is Mike Billington, Northern Briars. Northern, Blake Bar Briars. Sorry, Mike. Look at that. Now, he didn't tell me what he called this shape, but to me, it's a Blake Mar Briar version of an acorn, but with the cup. Look at it. Super cool. I don't know if you've got a Blake Mar Briar pipe, but one of the wonderful things about these is that when he carbonizes, he literally carbonizes with it carbonizes the inside of the bowl literally, and it has a wonderful, gives the pipe just, it starts off with this amazing sort of campfire smell. Really great. Kind of like with a peachy sandy Cumberland stem. Pretty substantial pipe again. I think it's maybe comparable to Ian's. Pretty substantial pipes. Love it. I think Mike always does something out of the box for the Four Horsemen pipe set. If you look at like pipes on the Blake Marbrier website, the pipes that he supplies, the Four Horsemen website is like nothing like any of them, which is super cool. Which leaves Winter and Chris Asquith. Look at this super cool piece. I didn't ask how he got a white finish. I know he has a method of not exactly like the, what do the German pipe makers call it? Sun bleached? No, that's not right. Chris has a process he calls the driftwood finish, and it is a process of lightening the briar. So I'm guessing that was part of the process, but not the whole of the process, because it's the driftwood process still has a vague briar colour. So something else has gone on here. This is crisp shaping. Chris's crisp shaping. And a little while back, he asked me to cast some resin for Winter. So this is the Winter resin. It is a mix of whites, pale greys, and a dark grey. And this is a light, dainty fellow. So our set kind of comprises winter and spring being these small, delicate pieces, summer and autumn being these big, bountiful pieces. Anyway, look at that. Awesome, unique little pipe from Chris there. That is the Four Seasons set. It is available as from this video. I just need, as I say, to put the label on the box, and it is ready. If you're interested, the thing to do is email me at devilsreef@gmail.com, or if you don't do that kind of thing, can contact me via Instagram or Facebook. If you are following me on either of those, that is fine too. Excellent. Now, next week there's no pipes because I'm not making any. The plan is to do the top 10. That is the plan, I believe. If not that week, then next week. We'll have to see how time pans out. But one way or the other, I will be back with a video pretty soonish. So, however that pans out, till then, take it very easy. Your loyal pipe maker.